What's going on, everybody? It's Living to Learn. I just want to welcome you back to my channel. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Those of you who might be listening, thank you as well. Just really anybody who has subscribed, shared, liked, commented on any of my videos, anybody who's donated, just want to give you a thank you for those things. Really, it's important for me to know that, you know, what I'm producing, what content I'm creating and you know, bringing on my channel is effective and helpful, and is something that somebody is listening to and you know, taking to heart, and that it's just something that's effective and helpful. And that's, you know, that's really why I'm doing this. As I've mentioned before, nobody's watching, nobody's listening, then I should probably do something else. But for those of you who are, thank you for that. And even for the people that I've reached out and, you know, messaged me, you know, encouragement or just, you know, something they got out of a video that I've, you know, that I put out, that goes a long way. And so again, if you'd like to donate, you'll see those options, you know, in the description. Again, under the title of the video, you see the little button that says more. You click on that, and you know, it'll show you where you can donate. But really, the subscribing, the liking, the commenting, the sharing, that is very helpful. So appreciate the support. I want to talk about something a little different today. Still along the lines of the theme that I've, you know, had probably for the last several videos, right? We've been talking about overcoming fear. We've been talking about looking at failure different, and really just trying to break down that whole process of what happens when we try to do something different. What happens when we attempt to do something that is beyond our current capacity. And that could be a number of things. You know, overall lifestyle change, or just a goal that we want to accomplish. And it's interesting. And it's especially interesting for me because I'm actually experiencing this as I record, as I make these videos, as I make this audio. I'm experiencing. Can't talk for some reason. I am experiencing this very season, this very moment of what change actually not only looks like, but what it feels like, what growth looks like and what it feels like, how uncomfortable my body is, how uncomfortable my mind is in attempting to do something different and attempting to do something that I've never done before. In my attempt to become a person that I've never been before, and looking for evidence that I could actually become that person. This is my journey right now. This is the road that I'm on, and everything that comes with it. All of the emotional and mental toiling and struggle and discomfort, all of those things will accompany us on the road to change. And you know, my video today is about, you know, approaching change. Like, how should we approach this? What should we be expecting when we decide that we want to change? Now, if you go back a couple of my videos, and I think I've mentioned this in a few of them, but the one I'm thinking of was, I think a few weeks back, where I mentioned, and this is something that I really want to reaffirm this as often as possible. The idea is not to focus on the size and scope of the goal that you are trying to accomplish. The idea is to accomplish that goal. The main point is to finish what we start, right? If I want to do this, and this by this time. Okay, this is just an example. And then doing it. Now, let's be realistic, right? We might have some ambitious goals. We might have some things that we want to change, and we're very ambitious about the things that I have enormous dreams. I have dreams and I have a vision of what I'd like to see things come to pass and things happen that they're pretty extraordinary. Sometimes it scares me. And I'll tell you what the biggest fear of that is that the fear that those things actually won't happen. I can't control that, but I can control the effort. I can control the productivity. I can control what I do to get myself in that best position. But along that way, these things are not going to happen overnight, even if they were to happen. Right. So what am I doing in the meantime? I'm setting a lot of smaller goals, making a lot of, small adjustments, small changes along the way. Remember, it's the change. It's the goal accomplishment. It's the little things that we're setting and accomplishing. Right. I'm going to walk every day this week. And then you do it. You just accomplished your goal. All these small little things begin to add up, and they begin to contribute to the bigger picture. Overall, what am I trying to accomplish? What am I trying to change? What type of person am I trying to become? And so the small things matter. So as we attempt to make a change in our life, as we attempt to grow, as we attempt to develop, as we attempt to just get better, let's be realistic. Let's be realistic of what we can accept from ourselves. I'm not saying not to challenge yourself. I'm not saying that. We do need to challenge ourselves. Right? Pressure makes diamonds. That's what they say. Pressure makes diamonds. Difficulty, resistance develops strength. So we need some of that. And for some of us, just the fact that we're even gonna draw up a goal to accomplish it's gonna come with huge resistance to our mind, to our mentality. Some of us just getting there is gonna be tough. Okay? And that in itself is a big accomplishment. And that's the thing about this channel is I want to remind you again, this channel is meant to be for everyone. I'm not saying that everyone will benefit from it. I don't know. That's up to you. That's up to the person that's listening and watching. But I want everyone to know this is an open invitation to those who are looking for something that could help them in their pursuit. And if they're looking to change, they're looking to make a lifestyle change, they're looking to reinvent themselves. All these things that are along the same lines of what I'm trying to do. Then I'm here as a support. I'm here as a resource. If I can be. And I understand that all of us are from different backgrounds. We're all starting in different places. Some of us might be a little more advanced on certain things than others, right? Some of you have been, killing it in the gym. Some of you have been, on that fitness regimen and that discipline way longer than I ever have been. And I'm not there yet in my journey. I'm still early on. I'm still learning, right? And in the same way, some of us might be a little bit more advanced in goal setting and accomplishing, right? A little bit more, of an understanding of what makes us tick and what we can expect from ourselves, what we can't, what's an actual challenge and what buttons we can push to kind of move ourselves a little bit further. And some of us are just getting there. And that's okay. It's okay. This is not a race, right? We're not racing. I mean, you want to race me, that's fine. I'm not worried about anybody else. I need to worry about me. Right? And when I say I'm not worried about anyone else, I don't mean that I don't care about anybody. I just mean that I know and I understand that even with these videos, the only person I still have control over is myself. And I need to make sure that I am doing what I need to do to to that next step, that next level, to progress. And so understanding change, right? How should we approach this? And I wanted to take an excerpt from this book, Act Now. I know I've mentioned it before. My life coach I'm sorry, not my life coach, my business coach, but she is kind of a life coach to me as well. She's been a counselor. She's done a lot of things for me other than just, the business aspect. Very, very helpful. Regeanie Corona is a co-author of this book, my business coach, alongside Dr. Natalie Phillips. Great book. It's called Act Now. I'll put the link in the description again if you guys want to check that out. You can buy it on Amazon, probably some other platforms as well. Great book. And they talk about what they call it the change cycle, right? It's a cycle that we go through as we're attempting to make changes. And I'm gonna get it more into the change cycle itself. The 6 steps or 6 stages that we encounter as we're attempting to make a change. I'll get to that over probably within the next couple of videos. It's something that I kind of want to stay on for a little while, but today it's about how do we even approach this, right? Like, and I thought they put this together in the words that they put this together, how they put this together in the book was great. So I wanted to just read from the book, page 132. It says, understanding the change cycle. Does the thought of creating change sound good logically, but in practice make you want to run in the opposite direction? I thought, what a great question. What a great question, because I'm pretty sure, okay? I would say I'm 99% sure that if you were to just walk up to anybody, any random person, and ask them, hey, is there one thing, just one? I mean, some of us will have several. I have a ton. But if you were just to ask a random person, is there anything in your life, anything in your current situation that if you could, you would change? And it could be, about yourself, right? Obviously, that's really the only change that we can control. But I'm sure everybody has something that they want to change. Okay, but at the same time, change is daunting, right? We've talked about this in other videos. It's very, it's intimidating. Even the thought of change, the thought of even of changing, right? That's why I love the way they said that. Does it sound good logically, but in practice make you want to run the other direction? And that could be for a number of reasons. That could be for a lack of confidence. That could be for just, we're just caught up in our thoughts. Remember we talked about that about a month ago, about how fear just can overwhelm us and how we need to take it and see it for what it is, and oftentimes realize that it's actually not as intense as we thought it was, right? Because in our mind, we're just blowing things up out of proportion. I think that's what happens, right? So, does it make sense logically? But, hey, I want to run the other direction when I really think about changing or making any type of change. And again, that could be a lack of confidence. That could be, a bad experience. Maybe you've already made several attempts at changes and have failed. That can be discouraging. I get that. I get it. I'm not here to discount anybody's experience. I'm not here to tell you that, you know what? You just got to be tough. And that's not what this is about. I don't know what you got to be. I don't know what you got to be to get over that hurdle. I just know that you can. And I think it's important that you would figure it out for yourself how to do so. That I do know. But I don't know what you need. I'm not you. All I can do is speak to my experience and what I know. And the things I know that are helpful in my pursuit, and the things that are not helpful, and how I need to become more disciplined in distinguishing between the two, and making sure that the choices I'm making are all toward my progress. But that's personal. That's personal, and I don't know. So I'm not going to sit here and give you all this this motivational stuff. And I do like to be a motivator. I love motivational speaking. I grow from that. I learn from that. I gain from that. And I want to be able to provide that as well. But I don't know you as an individual. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you, hey, you need to do this. I'm suggesting that you find out what you need to do. Okay? Have you ever wondered why accepting change isn't an easier process? I have. right? And again, I'm quoting the book here, right? Page 132 of Act Now. Have you ever wondered why accepting change isn't an easier process? Like, why couldn't this have just been easier? Right? There's some science behind this though as well. Here's the thing. It's amazing when you do research, when you start looking to educate yourself, what you can learn. Sometimes I think we feel like I'm the only one. Right? Have you ever thought that? I'm the only one. If I was just like this person, I would be more disciplined in this. I had friends, one of my best friends growing up, just a different type of dude, right? At like 18 years old, he was already in management at a major, grocery store. Just different work, just different mind, different outlook, just different work ethic, different type of responsibility, different type of person, different type of discipline. And it would be unfair for me to compare myself to him. That is definitely someone to look up to. That's definitely something to aspire to be. But I'm not him, right? And that's the thing too. It's just sometimes we can play that comparison game. We play mind games with ourselves. This is such a mental thing. I'm telling you. We play these mind games with ourselves. Like, why isn't it easier? And sometimes we might think, well, maybe it is easier for this person or for that person, but I'm not them. So for me, it's not easy. And really, it's just it's a matter of seeing it. And again, this is personal. This is applicable to you as an individual and how you work and how you see the world and the things that you need to be motivated, that are going to actually allow you to initiate those first steps of change. And so the question that they're asking in the book, have you ever wondered why accepting change isn't an easier process? Well, it can be if you choose to condition your mind to view change as a positive necessity to growth in life. If we never let ourselves off the hook, and let me be careful with my words here, because I don't want to contradict myself, because I just said I wasn't going to tell you what you need or whatnot. Listen to what I'm saying. If we will constantly remind ourselves, hold ourselves accountable to understanding that change is a positive necessity to growth in life, that will allow us to continue to just chip away at that. Chip away at the things that we need. Small. Remember, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Even the smallest steps forward are still steps forward. It's still progress. Remember, I said this in one of my other videos. I don't care if your goal is, I'm going to walk to the end of my driveway and back every day this week. So what if I can do more than that? Who cares what I can do? It's about you. Good for me if I can run 10 miles a day. It doesn't matter. It's the fact that you set a goal and you accomplished it and you committed to it. So if we will not let ourselves off the hook with change, right? As difficult as it is, like, oh, I've tried it before. I've done I've made attempts. I'm just not good at it. It's just the way I'm going to be. It's just the way I am. And that's fine. That's humanity. That's how we think. Those are the things floating around our mind. But make room for this. For the understanding that change should be seen, right? And let me quote this from the book. If you choose to condition your mind, right? Condition your mind to view change as a positive necessity to growth in life. How do we do that? Well, you start to insert different programming. Maybe you write that down and repeat it every day. Change is a positive necessity to growth in life. Change is a positive necessity to growth in life. And you start to affirm that. You start to speak that into your life. Now you've put that in your mind. And it's there. It's there. And next thing you know, you start to see things a little different. Maybe you start to make certain attempts. Maybe now, okay, well, you know what? I've got the confidence now that this is actually a good thing. For some of us, it takes time to even get there, right? It's going to take time for us to get to the point where we see change as a good thing. There are a lot of people who don't. I'm not here to judge them. I'm not here to write them off. To each their own. We got to live our own life. I want everything that is in store for me in this life. And I'm going to work as hard as I can to change, to become that person that can... that has the capacity to take those things on. It could be financially, it could be whatever, intellectually, spiritually, health wise, in my body, my mind. I mean, there's a lot more to life than money. Money's very important. But, what good is having all this money if I'm not healthy enough to spend it, or I'm not in the right state of mind to make right decisions with it, right? So anyway, it's just, for some of us that just getting there is tough. So start small. Start small. But first understand and first take on this, first condition your mind and work on conditioning our mind, our outlook on change as something positive. Something positive for growth in life. You don't just stop growing when you're 21, right? It's like we have the milestones, 18. Shoot, man, I can, for me, it was like, oh, I'm 18. Like my birthday's in March, right? So 18, I was like, cool, I can sign myself out of school. Like that's what I was excited about, right? I'm an adult. They can't tell me I can't leave early. I'm out of here. Or 21, right? 21 was the big 2-1, right? You want to go, have a drink, or now you can go gamble. You can go to Vegas and get crazy and try your luck, right? But we don't stop growing. We shouldn't stop growing. I don't want to say we don't stop growing. Some of us do. Some of us stop. And I'm not here to say whether that's good or bad for you. You gotta make that decision. For me, that's bad. For Josh, that's unacceptable because I want more. So that means I have to change. That means I have to become that person. That means I have to take on this difficult task of change, but it is a good thing. And that's how we should approach it, as a good thing, as a positive thing. Here's another quote from the book. Most people want to make positive changes in their lives. The desire exists, but somewhere between identifying the desire and engaging in actual execution, breakdown occurs, and they abandon any goal attached to change. That's from the book. Act Now, page 132. Get your copy. This is a great book, I'm telling you. I'm not just saying it because I'm my business coach. Practical advice, broken down, just great. The thing about it, most of us want to do something positive, right? We want to make a positive change. But somewhere between that, and I'm going to get into this a little bit more in the next videos, there's a breakdown. There's a breakdown. And this is really why I want to get into coaching. This is really why I feel like I can be effective with my strengths and with my giftings as a life coach, is because I can help people in that very space, in that breakdown space, where it's like, hey, I'm either going to continue to do this, or, yeah, you know what? This is too uncomfortable. This is just too hard. So forget it. Because let me tell you something. I've been there, and I am still there in certain areas of my life. But there are other areas of my life where I'm not there anymore, and I'm pushing through. I've not abandoned the goal. I'm continuing, and I will continue. And I want to ensure that I'm helping people identify when they are, if they are in that moment, if they are in that space, cool. This is normal. This is normal. You're not weak. You're not incapable. This is science. Our brain wants to protect us. Our body doesn't care about anything but making sure that we're safe. Right? Our mind just wants to take care of us. So change is actually perceived as a threat. So the message goes out as, this is something you should be afraid of. And that's just not the case. It's just your mind, your body doing what it's supposed to do, trying to keep you safe. So this is where it gets tough, is we have to just push through that. It's tough. But let me tell you something. I don't care if you fail 100 times. On that 101st try you do it. If these videos or myself, if I can help you with that, I want to help you. It doesn't matter how many times we mess up. We got to just keep going back. And if you see, and if we can approach change as something positive, as something that's actually good, that will give us the spark. That will give us the strength we need to continue to come back to it. I really believe it. Because we'll know that even though I've failed in my last attempt, even though it didn't go the way I wanted it to go the last time, it's not something that I can quit on. No, we don't quit. We just readjust. We readjust. We revisit it. Maybe maybe my goal was a little too lofty. Maybe I was a little too unrealistic with my last goal. Maybe I need to scale it down a little bit. Why don't I take little baby steps? Why not? God, why not? It's not a race. It's not a comparison game. Don't compare. We compare ourselves to other people. It's the worst thing we can do. And this is in this age, in this society, that's all we see. Comparison. We're bombarded with these images of these people living these, oh man, they're living the life and this and that. You don't know that person. You don't know how they're living. You just know what they're showing you. So stop with the comparison. And even if that is their life, good for them. Good for them. Salute them. Give them a round of applause and keep it moving. You still got stuff you got to do. I still got things I need to accomplish. So I can't let that stop me in my tracks. And somebody else looks, and there are people who are better. I mean, that's just a fact. But remember, there is nobody who is you. There's no other me. We are unique. We are unique in what we bring to the table. We are unique in our worldview and how we see things. We are unique in just ourselves as individuals. And so imagine what you can do if you set your sights on higher goals. Imagine what you can do if you set your sight on change. What will that look like? What will that become? And so that's just something I wanted to leave with you today. I hope this was helpful. Again, like, share, subscribe to the channel. Donate if you feel like it's something that you want to contribute. It's helpful. But yeah, again, thanks again for watching and listening. And hope you have a great rest of your week.